Hi, my name is Harlan James Wheeler Jr. I would like to thank the court for allowing me to read a testament on Simon, and I thank you, Cora. I don't need to pan the camera around to show you this beautiful property I live on and the things I own. But what I do need to say is that everything I have is because of Simon. 37 years ago, he and I were hired by the same company the same week. And after about 9 months of doing that, he and I decided to branch out on our own. And one of the things that stick out on this is both Simon and I knew that neither one of us could achieve success without the other person. We needed each other. We trusted each other. We worked so good together. We were friends. And as a result of that, we both succeeded. Simon had so much more to live for in his older life than he did in his younger life. Most of us were having kids in our 20s or 30s, and Simon had found true love, I believe, in his mid to late 40s and a family. But the thing is, he had everything to live for now. He and I had traveled this entire world. We traveled to places that were hot spots that they say, oh, Americans shouldn't go there. There's too much violence. There's too much criminal activity. There's so much murder. We were able to travel to those kinds of places and not have any trouble at all. But we had met people, we conducted business, we had a fun time. And it's such a shame that Simon comes back to probably one of the most peaceful places on earth, up north in Canada, with a small population and lakes. It's a dream come true. And when Simon found Cora, he found the winning lottery ticket. He had actually followed his rainbow to that place where he was taken from us. He had it all. Beautiful wife, kids, house, cars, restaurant, everything. Simon was a joker. Almost everybody who knew him would say something about that. And just to tell you his kind of personality, he and I were traveling in the southern parts of the United States, what's considered the Hicks of the USA. And Simon and I were down there. He had this real English, British, cocky accent. And he could make it thick, he could make it thin. If you wanted people to hear him, he would thicken it up. But down south, he started listening to the Southerners, how they had that long draw, and he started copying them. And it was so funny because you take the Southern accent and you blend it with the cocky English accent. That's how Simon would talk. He did that for 3 months. It was hilarious. But he also did that because that engaged people. People would go, where are you from? I can't figure out that accent. And then he would just mention a couple states over. Oh, I'm from Kentucky or someplace, which he wasn't, but he made an in with it. It was so funny, and that's typical of Simon, because it doesn't matter where Simon went. Simon could go to the store, the gas station, go pay a bill, go buy a sandwich. No matter where he went, he would always engage people. He was a people person. If he went to the gas station and engaged you, you would have a smile on your face. He would leave a smile on everybody's face, and there's a good chance that everybody would know his name after just the first meeting. And that's how warm and caring and kind and interesting Simon is. But this is the last thing that I could imagine that I would be doing in my life. The last thing. Because we were getting up there in the older years, We thought we were just going to cruise. We were going to be funny old guys. That was our plan. And I just want you to think about this. I've heard and read some things behind the scene. These people that came into his shop, came into his restaurant after he was closing, dressed in black from head to toe. One carried a baseball bat, two guys carrying guns. Later found out they're BB guns, but nonetheless, they're guns and they're pointed at you. That has got to be the scariest thing that a person can encounter. Now let's take that a step further. Bam! They start hitting you with the baseball bat. 7 times in the head, kicking you when you're down. Your head is bleeding all over. All you want to do is survive. 3 hooded guys over you. I was told that Simon had actually pulled the hood off the main attacker, the guy with the baseball bat. And he pulled that off and he was able to recognize who that person was. That was an individual who Simon had interaction with in the past. Simon had tried to help him. He tried to get him going in the right direction. And this young kid turned on him. This is as vicious as a mad dog turning on its owner. That dog would need to be put down. But I want you to think about, what would you do if you encountered this? When they were hitting Simon in the head with a baseball bat, they were taking away with each swing what he was, what he is, what he had, what he will ever have. They beat that out of him. They beat it out of him. I cannot think of any crime more vicious than this. So I'd like to ask the court to understand this is a brutal attack. A brutal crime deserves brutal time. If these kids and this kid can turn on somebody who has helped them, turn on somebody that perhaps knew their daughter's friends and associates, if a person like that can turn on you, imagine what they could do to anybody or somebody they don't like. These kids need to pay for this crime. This nightmare that we know Simon went through will be etched on my heart and my mind every single day for the rest of my life. Just to have that play in your head of his final minutes, getting hit with a baseball bat, blood everywhere, trying to live. He just wanted to live, and they took that from him. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cora. Candace, stay strong. I'll send my love to you guys. Bye.